good morning. Welcome to this week's episode of Nail the Numbers podcast. So, thanks for joining me if you are watching me live on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, or if you're listening to the Spotify recording, then thanks for jumping in as well. So, this week, thought we'd do something a little bit different. I wanted to talk just a little bit about who I am, who my background is. So, you've seen me do the podcast, and then I suddenly realized that, you know what, you don't really know who I am, what my background is, and why I do what I do. And I just realized this virtual background is doing something real crazy with my hair. So let's just take that off because that's going to drive me nuts if it's not going to drive you nuts. Okay, there we go. So who am I? So as you know, my name's Kerry Postal, and I started Abacus Business Solutions 11 and a half years ago. So we are in our 12th year of operating Abacus and growing every single year. And we do what we do because we love to help business owners to know, understand, and trust their numbers. But I didn't necessarily know I wanted to get into, doing accounting and bookkeeping. When I grew up, I was one of those kids, had no idea what I wanted to do. And it was only when I did go to college a couple of years and did a higher national diploma in England in business and finance. And between those 2 years, I had to do some work experience. And my mom was working and running an accounts department for a manufacturing company. So she said, hey, do you want to come and work? Her assistant was going to be on maternity leave for 3 months. And so I went to work with her, and that's where I fell in love with working with numbers and realized that was what my passion was. That's what I enjoyed doing and what I was good at. So after I left college, I found a job as a purchase ledger clerk was my first position, and doing data entry, and did that for about 8 months. And then a friend of mine who was running the accounting department for a high-end jeweler invited me to go and work in the accounts department with them and the other employee there, the manager. And so that's what I did for the next 4 years. And that's where I really learned a whole lot more about the accounting side, double entry bookkeeping, debits and credits. Everything was manual. We had those great big ledger books. And that was such a huge learning experience for me, and a great opportunity to really get my head around that whole accounting side. QuickBooks makes it seem so easy that you're just plugging in data and it all just happens. What you don't see in QuickBooks is all the data, the debit and credit aspect behind it, which is what makes those numbers balance, which is what makes your balance sheet and your P&L and all those other numbers fall into place and to give you balanced books. That's where that phrase comes from. So that was a really great experience. Went to work for a travel agent after that for a couple of years. And then I moved out to the States, where I decided to try doing something different and tried sales for a couple of years, realized I did not enjoy that. And then I worked for a general contractor for 6 years. And so that was a huge learning experience. It was a great opportunity where I was able to learn the construction side of accounting, where we were doing the AIA invoices, progress billing, job costing, lien releases, notice to owners, notice commencements, payroll, all that fun stuff. And that's where I got a great education in pulling all that together. Worked as a project coordinator for a couple of years, so I was actually kind of out in the field doing submittals and looking at blueprints and just getting a really good idea of the whole construction industry, working with the subcontractors that were on the job and going out to job sites and looking at what was going on and everything. So that's where my 6 years of my experience working in the construction industry comes from, and why we decided to niche in construction for Abacus. So after I'd been at the construction industry for 6 years, that's where I decided to open up Abacus in 2013, and just be able to help more businesses to be able to know, understand, and trust their numbers. That's what it always comes back to for me, is helping businesses to know where they're at, what it is working for their business, what isn't working, and what do they need to change to help grow their business. So I remember when COVID first hit, I was on a plane I was in England at the time when everything got shut down. So I was trying to get back to the States. And I just remember sitting on that plane thinking like, okay, who knows how this is going to end up? Who knew how 2020 was going to end up being? And I just remember thinking like, gosh, I hope I have a business at the end of this year. Just be brutally honest with you. Nobody knew how things were going to be. And 2020 actually ended up being our best year to date. that we had been in business. And then every year since then, we have continued to grow and continued to, help more clients and to, just really help people get into their numbers. And, we also help clients implement the profit first strategy and help them to really make sure that, paying themselves, putting money aside for profit. There's so many business owners out there that aren't making money, or they are making money, but they don't see where it goes to. People are like, hey, my P&L shows that I made $70,000, but I don't have $70,000 in the bank, and not understanding what that means. So that's where I enjoy helping business owners to understand what their P&L means. What does their balance sheet mean? How do the two work together? If my P&L says 70,000, profit, why don't I have 70,000? And talking through that and looking at ways of implementing new strategies to increase the profit, to make sure they're getting paid as an owner. I'm working with a client right now that she has not paid herself this year, and here we are, beginning of April. So we're getting different strategies implemented. We're going to dig into her numbers and to see, what is going on, what's working for her, what's not working, what do we need to change, what expenses do we need to reduce, what services are working or not working, and just really kind of see what is, the issue here, what's going on that she's not able to afford to pay herself. Because at the end of the day, when you're in business, you have to pay yourself. What's going to keep you motivated to grow that business and take it to the next level? It's going to be being able to pay yourself, being able to see that you're profitable, having money set aside to be able to pay your taxes. And when people say to me like, oh, but I don't want to pay taxes, it's like, well, or I don't want to make too much money. I don't want to make too much profit because then I'm going to have to pay taxes. I always say that paying taxes is a good thing, because it means you're profitable. Now, obviously, you don't want to overpay in taxes, and that's where you want to make sure you work with, experienced tax professional that can help you put in strategies and planning into place so that doesn't happen. But it's okay to pay taxes. That's what keeps the country running is from people paying taxes. It's a case of making sure that you are profitable. You're putting money aside to pay those taxes, and then making sure you're paying yourself as well. And that's how you grow your business. If you're not making money, if you're not profitable, you're not going to be able to grow your business. You're going to end up, just plowing more and more money into that. And that's just going to end up, pulling you down, and you're going to end up shutting up shop and going to find a job because it's a lot easier than running a business. So that is why we're passionate about helping business owners to make sure they're profitable, that they understand those reports. What is it that report actually telling you? What does that mean for you as a business owner? What do you need to change next month so that the same thing doesn't happen, in the previous month? This business owners would have come to me and said, well, I just need my books done at the end of the year so I can file my taxes. And yes, you need your books done to file your taxes, but if you don't know your numbers throughout the whole year, if you've got an issue that comes up and you don't know about it, then you're not going to be able to make a change. And heaven forbid you get to the end of the year and realize that you've been losing money for the last 6 months because maybe an item increased in price that you didn't realize that you had to increase your selling price. Maybe, other expenses that came up that you didn't realize were just draining money from your account. So anything like that, when you don't know your numbers, you can't change aspects of what's going on in your business to turn it around and be profitable. So this is why we do what we do. Like I said, this is our 12th year in business. We love helping clients. We're continually looking for ways to help new clients to come on board and help them to be able to grow their business as well. So if you're a business owner and if you are looking to know your numbers, to be able to see exactly how your business is performing, what's working and what's not working, if you're looking at implementing a profit strategy to be able to increase your profitability and make sure you're paying yourself as well, because at the end of the day, that is so important, then reach out to me. It's either put a comment below on this video or send me a direct message, or you can go to our website, constructionprofitfirst.com, and go to the contact page and send us a message there as well. We can jump on a Zoom call. We can have just a chat and just see if there's a way that we can help you, see where you're at in your business, what you have going on, and if there's a way that we can work together to help you to go to the next level. So I'm not a high pressure salesperson. So if we figure out it's not a good fit or it's not the right time, then I'm going to tell you that, and something then we can touch base again in 6 months, or I can refer you on to a peer of mine in the industry. So that is who I am. A little bit about my background as to how I came into this industry and why I do what I do. So I hope that I gave you some more insight. And like I said, if there's anything we can do to help you in your business and help you to grow your business, then please let us know. I'll see you next time.